Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am Leher Jain, a second year law student at National Law School, Bangalore. And on behalf of the CLAT Tutor legal team, I'm here to discuss an extremely important topic. Imagine a scenario where the judges of a court are making stereotypical comments and where they impose restrictions and conditions which are stereotypical in nature. What does the law say about this? We will attempt to answer this question in today's discussion. The case we will be discussing is Aparna Bhatt versus State of Madhya Pradesh. It is a very recent 2021 judgment where the Supreme Court lays certain conditions on stereotypical remarks by judges, as well as it lays the conditions for bail in this country. The bench comprised of the sole judge of Justice Ravindra Bhatt. And the context in which this case becomes extremely important is another case which happened recently called Mohit Subhash Chavan versus State of Maharashtra. In this case, the accused was prosecuted for rape of a minor girl. And bar and bench reported that the Chief Justice of India had asked this person accused whether he would like to marry the victim. This obviously caused a lot of public havoc and outcry. After some days, the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice issued a clarification that this was in fact a case of misreporting and that no such question had been asked in court. It is in this context that we will be learning more about the case of Aparna Bhatt. Now, in the case of Aparna Bhatt, the accused is prosecuted for sexually assaulting a woman, and he applies for anticipatory bail in the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Now, anticipatory bail is when you haven't been arrested, but you fear arrest, and you apply to the court to grant you bail from the same and protection from arrest. Now, the High Court, while granting bail to the accused, also imposed a condition wherein the accused was supposed to visit the house of the victim and ask the victim to tie Rakhi to him. Now, this is obviously an extremely unusual and stereotypical remark that the High Court had made in this particular case. Now, this case reaches the Supreme Court, wherein the applicants request the Supreme Court to issue directions to all of the courts in the country, wherein they specify the conditions for bail or anticipatory bail and stop them from making stereotypical remarks which trivialize the trauma faced and undergone by survivors of sexual assault. Now, the rule or the law which is relevant in this particular case is Section 437, Clause 3, Subclause C of the CRPC, as well as Section 438, Clause 2, Subclause 4. Now, both of these sections provide discretion to the courts in designing their own conditions of bail and anticipatory bail. However, it must be noted that these conditions must be in consonance with the scheme of the Act, and they cannot reflect the stereotypical and patriarchal norms of the society. The Supreme Court, in its judgment, gave various guidelines on which the courts were supposed to grant bail or anticipatory bail in the future. It made three very important observations. First, that these remarks which are exchanged in court and appear in the order are extremely unacceptable. And second, that they must conform to judicial standards of the CRPC. And lastly, that this can never happen in the future. It also specifically laid down 6 bail conditions, wherein firstly, that the court cannot permit any form of contact between the accused and the victim. Secondly, that if need be, the victim can be granted additional protection from harassment by the accused. Thirdly, that the courts could allow such conditions for her protection. Fourthly, that if at all such a bail is granted to the accused, then the complainant must be informed immediately. The fifth point which it noted was that all of the bail conditions must be free from stereotypical or patriarchal norms. For example, the Madhya Pradesh High Court's observations on the relationship between the accused and the victim in the form of a brother sister relationship. And lastly, that there should never be any suggestion of any compromises to be drawn between these two. And hence, these two cases have become extremely important in understanding that patriarchy and other stereotypical remarks must stay as far away from the independent judiciary as possible. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you do have any queries, please do mail us and leave your feedbacks in the comment section.